So today's lecture is about online thought leadership and using social media for good. I hope that by now you've been able to see that web content can sell. An effective online content strategy, artfully executed, drives action. While technologies for each form of online content are a little different, the one aspect that's common is that through all of these media, your organization can exercise thought leadership rather than simple advertising and product promotion. A well-crafted white paper, ebook, or webinar contributes to an organization's positive reputation by setting it apart in the marketplace of ideas. This form of content brands a company, a consultant, or a nonprofit as an expert and as a trusted resource. The definition of thought leadership came about in the early 1990s when Joel Kutzman, an author for Strategy and Business magazine, coined the term. The definition was first used to describe a futurist, a person who was widely known for his unique thoughts and ideas that were considered unusual at the time. Such ideas also had to have an impact on society and could arrive in different forms, such as a new product or a new method of teaching. A current definition is this: thought leadership is the process of establishing a relationship with your customers and stakeholders and delivering something of value to them. During this process, you go beyond simply selling a service or product and establish your brand as the expert in the field, differentiating yourself from the competitors. The information you share with others must be written, displayed, and packaged for easy consumption without boring the reader. The information has to be relevant, applicable, useful, and be able to reach and speak to your audience in a realistic way. The content that you published is unbiased, original, audience-led, research-driven, and layered. There are a number of ways that social media can be utilized for thought leadership. The marketing essentials most widely used in thought leadership are insight, focus, uniqueness, value, commitment, and authenticity. The various social media platforms provide the unique opportunity, creating a solid relationship with the audience, demonstrating your innovation, and delivering the message. Nate Silver became the premier thought leader on statistics when his blog, 538, accurately predicted the results of the November election exactly in both state majority and ultimate electoral college votes in 2012. After weeks of dismissive behaviors from analysts and research centers, Silver's accuracy boosted him into the new role of election thought leader. The moral of the story? Do something everyone else in your field maybe thinks is dumb and be right about it. Granted, that may be a little oversimplified, but it's that kind of hard left or right or 180-degree turn that, when successful, can grab the right kind of attention. Here are some of the specific and most common types of online thought leadership content. White papers. They typically argue a specific position or a solution to a problem. While they take their roots in government policy, they also have become a common tool to do things like introduce technology innovations and products. They can be powerful marketing tools used to help key decision makers justify implementing a solution. The best white papers are not product brochures. They are written for a business audience, define a problem, and offer a solution, but don't pitch a particular product or company. They're usually free and have a registration requirement so that the authors can collect the names and contact information of the people who downloaded it. Marketers are using ebooks more and more as a fun and thoughtful way to get useful information to buyers. An ebook is usually a PDF formatted document that solves a problem for one of your buyer personas. They're like a hip younger sibling to the nerdy white paper. Well-executed ebooks have lots of white space, interesting graphics and images, and copy that is typically written in a lighter style than the denser white paper. They're usually free, and a good rule of thumb here is no registration requirement. Email newsletters have been around for a long time, but they still have a lot of value in delivering thought leadership content in small, regular doses. The vast majority of these tend to be more advertising focused and typically offer a lame 10% off coupon. Think about using a different kind of newsletter that focuses not on the products and services, but on solving those problems. For example, say you're the tire manufacturer and maybe one of your monthly e-newsletters focuses on safe driving. Webinars are online seminars that may include audio, video, or graphics. Many times they'll use PowerPoint, and they're used by companies as a primer about a specific problem that the company's services can solve. The thought is that once the potential buyer gets so much valuable information for free, they're quite interested in learning more and will seek out additional information and/or products and services. Wikis as thought leadership are started by organizations that want to be seen as important players in distinct marketplaces. You can use them to reach the people you want to reach and help them to organize content. You can use a wiki which allows users to add their own frequently asked questions, and other people can supply the answers, which helps everyone. People like to be a part of a community, and they really like that a wiki gives them a way to discuss their interests. By publishing research and survey reports for free, organizations offer valuable content and get a chance to show the kind of work they can do. It can be an effective approach as long as your research or survey is legitimate and is statistically significant, as well as being interesting to your buyers. Don't underestimate the value of an image to tell a story. Photos, images, graphs, and charts are valuable. If your product has visual appeal, like sporting goods, restaurants, or real estate, you can create interesting content based on images. How-tos are also great for this. Blogs are written by people who are passionate about a subject and want the world to know about it. The benefits then rub off on the company they work for. Writing a blog is considered the easiest and simplest way to get your thought leadership ideas out and into the market. Podcasts, video content, video blogs, and other similar things offer a powerful opportunity to demonstrate your thought leadership. Think about hosting an interview show with interesting guests. Consider interviewing customers, analysts who cover your industry, and authors who write books in your field. You need to locate and work with influencers. Having a crowd that believes in what you're saying and values it means that they'll be more willing to share what you offer with those that follow them. Let's do a little practicing. Let's imagine that you are a caterer trying to get established in the city of Jonesboro. You need to think about some methods of online thought leadership that might work. So what are some topics or problems that you could cover? Well, you could do a blog about planning a party and some best practices for making it a successful event. You could do some FAQs on the best kind of food for particular events. You could certainly display some photos of what you have to offer in terms of food and some how-to videos of making different recipes. Let's say you're a nonprofit that raises funds and awareness regarding diabetes. What could you do in the area of online thought leadership, and how will you promote your online thought leadership content? You could blog about the best food to eat if you have diabetes. Research the best diabetes treatments and talk about them. You could do an e-newsletter with stories from a local doctor about strides made in diabetes research and symptoms of diabetes. You could promote it through social accounts like Twitter and Facebook. Nonprofit organizations have become increasingly social over the past decade, whether they're cultivating a dedicated Facebook following or blazing a trail on networks such as Snapchat. While part of the social media's initial appeal was the potential to reach your audience without tapping into a limited budget, the growing popularity and changing algorithms of popular networks have made it difficult to keep your cause at the top of supporters' news feeds. That said, nonprofit organizations have never been a group to back down from a challenge. As part of a nonprofit team, people are not strangers to having a mission. Whether to eliminate poverty or protect an endangered species, you understand what your overall charge is. Similarly, your social goals should be clear. Here's some examples of possible goals that can inform your social efforts: community engagement and education, brand building and reputation management, program recruitment, and of course, fundraising. Once you've determined your goals, decide how you'll measure success and what metrics you'll track to assess the outcome of your social media efforts. For example, if engaging your community is a goal, what might you measure success by? Maybe responses to your posts and engagement in social discussions, the volume of posts using a specific hashtag, and participation in online campaigns that are driven by social. A lot of nonprofits say, well, our audience is the general public. But if you think you're speaking to the general public, then you're probably speaking to nobody. It's helpful for nonprofits to develop audience personas, which are representations of your ideal supporters based on a combination of demographic data and information about individual members of your target audience. To learn about the demographic makeup of your current social media following, you can use native analytics on platforms like Twitter and Facebook, or use a social media management tool like Sprout Social. Once you have an idea of who's already following you online, research and speak with supporters offline to gain additional insights about what matters to them when supporting your cause. You can create multiple personas that represent supporters in different groups. Consider the makeup of your volunteer base, your board, a junior board, your donors, and more. Go ahead and give each persona a name as well as a comprehensive demographic background. Then add specific details about what this person cares about, what their typical day is like, who they trust, and more. Once you've identified your target audience, study social media demographics to find out where they are active online and focus your efforts on those networks. If you have limited time to spend on social, don't spread yourself too thin by worrying about adopting every network that comes up. Do an excellent job on 2 or 3 networks with a large potential for reaching your audience instead of a mediocre job on 5. When you're creating a content strategy for your nonprofit, focus on storytelling that gets your message across. When you're trying to figure out what to share, start by examining past posts to see what has performed well and what types of content get your followers engaged. Don't be afraid to ask supporters what type of stories they would like to see from your organization. You can gather this information in person, via an email survey, or by asking on social media. Develop content categories for social media that you can cycle through on a regular basis, such as volunteer spotlights, client stories, and how-tos. The difference between traditional marketing and nonprofit marketing isn't in the tactics, but rather in the ultimate goal. Traditional marketing aims to increase sales and revenue. Nonprofit marketing aims to inspire and motivate. The Toy Association is a nonprofit trade association with over 900 businesses that create toys and games for kids. Part of the nonprofit's social media strategy involves Genius of Play, which encourages parents to make playtime a part of their kids' daily lives. Genius of Play uses social media to share helpful and informational content for parents, as well as spark dialogue about issues that their audience cares about. With engagement, show donors that you see them as more than an ATM. The social media accounts that show humanity seem to get noted more, particularly when you give quick or humorous responses. Men's health nonprofit Movember regularly uses humor on social media to add a little lightheartedness to support a serious cause. The Water is Life campaign really did well at capturing a trending hashtag. The hashtag First World Problems is popular and trends on a regular basis still. According to data from keyhole.co, this hashtag has the potential reach of 1.2 million. Water is Life used this hashtag and the idea behind it to spread their viral video, the First World Problems Anthem. The video features people in situations of serious need repeating common hashtag first world problems. For example, I hate it when my phone charger won't reach my bed. So let's take a look at this particular video.
I hate when my phone charger won't reach my bed.
I hate when my leather seats aren't heated.
When I go to the bathroom and I forget my phone.
Le mette radio dans machine à laver, yo commence sentir.
I hate it when my house is so big. I need 2 wireless washers.
When my milk gun makes my hot water taste too cold.
When I have to write my maid a check, but I forget her last name.
M'pa ka écrit message dans marcher en même temps.
Mwen te kite kas mwen en bas.
Mwen rayi les voisins a bloqué internet là.
I hate it when I tell them no pickles and they still give me pickles.
Oops, sorry. Start it again. So that is, the video really highlights the irony of our own problems, placing them into stark relief against the deeper needs of those who lack clean water. The strategy proved remarkably effective as the video went viral on Facebook and Twitter, expanding Water is Life's reach. One Water is Life spokesperson explained, "We call it hashtag killer, not just an attempt to end a hashtag, but to use social media to affect a real change in our world." Hashtags are an important source of marketing virality and should be used whenever possible. Make-A-Wish encouraged donations on the most popular platform. Nonprofits, about 98% of them, are on Facebook. Facebook represents one of the easiest and most effective ways to take the leap into social media and gain a following. But Facebook is also a challenging platform. Due to the decline in organic reach, many nonprofits have found their engagement rates drop to 2% or less. Regardless of the decline in reach, nonprofits would do well to optimize their Facebook pages for maximum results. One way to do this is to follow the example of Make-A-Wish. Make-A-Wish's Facebook page includes 3 buttons on their cover photo: Donate Now, Like, and Message. The prominence of the Donate Now button makes it easy for users to give to the organization. Donations are how nonprofits survive. Asking for donations on the most popular platform is a smart move. The takeaway here: identify where the users are most likely to engage with your organization and add a call to action. Many people assume that purchasing fans and followers is a shortcut to building a huge online community, but this is general bad practice. Never purchase fans or followers for your nonprofit, or you will be throwing money away. Why would you spend money to promote your message to a group of people that either does not exist, which are fake accounts, or could care less about your organization? When used strategically and thoughtfully, social media platforms are a great way for nonprofits to connect with stakeholders, cultivate loyal donors, and expand their reach and their audience.